Hey everybody. Today I'll be solving a collection of AP Calculus AB questions. Before we start, I want to share that I scored a 780 on the SAT math section and I achieved several achievements in the field of mathematics. My goal is to make math more enjoyable and comprehensive for everyone. And if you're interested in tutoring, I'd love to help you out. And you can find my contact information in the description below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more. Let's get started. Hey guys, so we're continuing with this new integral package, which contains around like 15 questions today. Gonna do them. So let's just start. Question 1. Integral -1 to 3, an absolute value of x minus 2 dx. So guys, there's actually two ways to solve absolute value functions. So you know that absolute value, if you have like -2, we get +2. So basically, if our number is negative, inside function is negative, we multiply by -1. And if our absolute value the number inside our absolute value is positive, we just bring that out. So basically what I'm gonna say is, actually I'm gonna do the easier way, but I'm just gonna show how you can do it in the other way, which is a more standardized form. So basically we have a two function, okay? Integral 3 to -1 absolute x minus 2. So actually for two cases, if x is greater than 2, because if I say x is greater than 2, that means that I'm getting my positive value. So I'm not multiplying by so I'm just gonna take the integral of 3 to -1 absolute value of x, not absolute, I'm sorry, we're just getting rid of absolute value, so I'm just gonna say x minus 2. And also in the other hand, I have a case which x is less than or equal to 2. In this case, I'm just going to multiply by -1, because the absolute value function is going to give me my otherwise I would get a negative value, so I don't want to get that. So I'm just gonna write 3 to -1 minus x plus 2, negative x plus 2. So I'm just gonna integrate this function. If you know how to integrate, you just can find integrals and just solve for those cases. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna draw a graph. Okay, and notice that this graph would look like a V, where I will have a 0 value and then I will have other values. So at x equals to 2, at this point my x will be 0, and at other points I will have like it will look like something like this, guys. So over here we're looking for -1 and 3 conditions. So over here, let me just write for -1. What would happen if I plug -1 over here? If I plug -1, I'm gonna get -1, -2, which means -3, and I get absolute value of -3 is gonna be 3. So I'm just gonna write 3 over here. This will be my 3 point. And also, ultimately, I have to find my 3 for x. So if I plug 3 for x, 3 minus 2 is going to be 1, and absolute value of 1 is 1. So I'm just gonna write 3 over here, and it's gonna be 1. Okay, so I will do this. I'm just drawing a graph over here, and this will look like something like this. I'm terrible at drawing triangles. Okay, so I have two triangles over here. I don't need to draw the other part of the graph, which is unnecessary. And over here, I have 0 to 3. This is a 0 point, 0 graph, and this is going to be 0 to 3. So this will be height of 3. The height of this triangle is 3. Over here, I get a 3 over here. Over here, I got 1. I got 1. So this triangle's area is 1/2, since I multiply by 1/2 times height times width in a triangle. So I will get 1/2 for this triangle, and over here for this triangle, I will get 3 times 3 is 9, 9 over 2. 9 over 2 is going to be this half. So if I just add these together to find the area under the slope, guys, remember, we're finding the integral. So if the integral means the area under the slope or under a graph, okay? And since we have this linear graph, we just can find the area under the slope by drawing it, which makes it way more easier in linear functions like this. So 9/2 plus 1/2 is going to be 5. I'm just gonna do the same method over here. So if you didn't understand the previous question, you're probably gonna understand this time because I'm just gonna do the same thing. So over here, if I what is my zero value? So 3x minus 2 is equal to 0, and x will be equal to 2 over 3. And since 2 over 3 is over here, I'm just gonna put this point over here. If I plug 0, which is my starting value, I just get -2 in absolute value, which means I'm going to get 2. So I start with 2. Let's say this is 2. And over here, if I plug 4, I get 10. And let's just write that 2. Over here, I got 10. So I just can draw this, and draw this. This is my triangle. And now I have to find the area under this graph, because this is my graph, guys. Ignore this last part. This will be my graph, and I'm trying to find the area under this graph. So how can I find it? I just use your values. So this should be 2 over 3. This will be 10 over 3 as length, and the width will be 10 for, I mean, the height will be 10, and the height for this one would be 2. So over here, I got 2 over 3. You can just calculate it if you're struggling with triangles. I'm just gonna do it faster in my mind. So over here, I got 10, 100 over 50 over 3. I got 50 over 3 as my area. And we add these guys together, I end up with 52 over 3. And what is 52 over 3, guys? If I say 2, 3, 7, 27 to 1/3. Oh, I'm sorry, it's gonna be 1. So 17 plus 1/3. Okay, so we're just changing the variable to t. It's no different than the other one. So over here, let's just say t is equal to 1/2, 1 over 2. And we're asked to solve for -1 to 1. So I'm just gonna say -1. If I plug -1, I'm getting 3. Because -1 times 2 is -2. -2 minus -1 is -3. And if I take the absolute value of -3, I get 3. Over here, this will be 0, by the way. And if I plug 1, I will get 1/2, because 1 as my value, because 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So my graph is going to look like this, and this. Well, I didn't draw the best graph, so it's not 100% accurate, but since we know the values of the length and the height, it's not going to be looking different. Since, like, you can ask, oh, awesome, so this is like 1/2, and this is like 3/2, and this looks like similar to this, like in length, in visually. So I know I'm not drawing very good because I'm using a mouse over here. So please, I'm sorry for this. And don't worry, we just can't solve it. It doesn't matter how it looks like. And over here, we got a height of 3. Over here, I got a height of 1. And this will be 1/2 times 1 over 2, which will be 1 over 4. 1/2 over 2 over 1. Yeah, 1 over 4. And over here, I got 3 times 3, 9, 9/2 over 2, 9/4. 9/4. So if I just add these together, I got 10/4, and that will be 5/2. The graph of function f below is composed of 2 quarter circles, then 0 to f5. Guys, so since we know that this is a quarter circle, we're just going to find our circle's area. So what is a quarter circle's area? A quarter circle's area is PR square, but since this is a quarter, like, let me just draw it for you guys. If I just take like a quarter of this, I'm just gonna get 1/4 of it. 1/4. Quarter means 1/4. So just multiply that with 1/4. Okay. 1 over 4. And what else? So we just can find our radius from here. We're not putting pi in, so we have our pi, and 1 over 4. So this will be 1, 2. This is our center of our circle, guys. This is our center of circle. So I'm just gonna calculate my radius, which is like 1, 2. So my radius for this triangle is 2. So 2 squared, I'm just gonna calculate the area. 2 squared times pi times 1/4. And what I end up is this will be 4, this will be 4, and I got pi for this area, pi. And for this one, 1, 2, 3. Our center is over here. So I got a radius of 3. 3 squared times pi times 1/4. And I got 9 pi's over 4 plus 1 pi. 1 pi, so I can just write it as 4 pi over 4, and I end up with 13 pi's over 4. It's answer choice A. So, a piecewise function is composed of 3 line segments as shown below. What is the value of 1 to 6 integral dx? So guys, since they're asking 1 to 6, I'm just going to start from 1. I'm going to calculate all of this area, 1 to 6, okay? Because integral means calculate the area under a graph. And notice that over in here, integral 3 to 5, we got our function is under the x-axis. It's under the x-axis. That means that we're gonna solve for negative. It's gonna be a negative area, and we're gonna subtract that value from our previous things, our other things, or we might end up with a negative area, which actually makes sense in some cases in physics, but right now we're just gonna add these together. So I got a positive over here, I got a positive over here, I'm gonna get a negative over there, and I'm gonna subtract it, and then I'm gonna get my integral. So please don't make this mistake and try to add this, because if you do so, that's gonna be wrong. So over here, I have a rectangle. Let me just erase this. So it's 1 to 6, guys. So first of all, I have a rectangle over here. Okay, I got a triangle over here. I got a 2 triangles over here, which are identical, and I'm just gonna solve for 1 triangle and multiply by 2. Like, yeah. And over here, I got 1 triangle. Okay. So this rectangle will be 1. It has a length of 1 and a height of 2. So I got 2. Over here, this triangle will be 1 to 2. So this will be a triangle of 1. And over here, I got 1 to 2. So this will be a triangle of -1. And also, so does this one, because it's the same triangle, because they have the same height and the same length. And over here, I have 1 to 2. So this will be 1, 2. So add these numbers together, guys. 1, -1, -1, 1. These just go away. And I end up with 2. Question number 5. In the graph below, the areas of regions A, B, and C are 3.2, B equals 1.6, and C equals 4.4. What is the value of 0 to 8 integral f of x minus 2 dx? Okay, so guys, you might be asking, awesome, how am I going to find this? I just have the area of this area, but not -2. So guys, we have a beautiful rule in integrals. So I just can say that integral 0 to 2 f of x minus 2 dx is equal to 8 to 0 f of x dx plus integral 8 to 0, the same interval, for -2 dx. And this will be my same interval. It's the same thing. So let's just do it. Let me just actually write it over here. What I gotta find is 8 to 0 f of x dx plus 8 to 0 -2 dx. Okay, now what is 0 to 8 f of x dx? So basically, I got my areas. So A is 3.2, but guys, make sure this is under the x-axis. It's under, so I will get a negative value, -3.2. B, 1.6. No, it's -1.6 because it's under the x-axis. Always tell this to yourself. It's under the x-axis. So C, 4.4. So what I get for this is this will be 5, I guess. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. This will be negative 4.8, negative 4.8, and this will be 4.4. If I add these guys together, I got negative 0.4. So this is my total integral. So this will be just for this, negative 0.4. Plus, now I just have to integrate 0 to 8, negative 2. How am I going to do that? It's actually very simple. I have to integrate negative 2x in 8 to 0. So I'm just going to plug 8 and subtract from 0. So if I plug 8 for negative 2x, I get negative 2 times 8, which is negative 16. If I plug 0, I'm just going to get 0. So my other integral will be negative 16. And if I add negative 0.4 to negative 16, I end up with negative 16.4. In the graph below, A, B, and C represent the areas of the regions bounded by the curve y equals to f of x and the x-axis. Which one of the following expressions represents the value of B, A integral f of x dx? So what can we do is, what represents the value of this? Okay, guys, so we're just adding the areas together, okay? Since this A is under the x-axis, I'm gonna count this as a negative A. This is over the x-axis, so I got a B and I got a C. Since the integral means the area under the slope, I just can't add these areas together. So my answer should be B plus C minus A. Is there anything like that? B plus C minus, oh, not this one. B plus C minus, no, B plus C minus A, yeah, answer choice B. Make sure like these answer choices are like kind of confusing sometimes. So, don't fall in their trap. A, B, C, and D are areas of the shaded regions between the graph function f and the x-axis as shown below. What the value of b to a f of x dx is. So the same thing, guys. A minus b minus c plus d. So a plus d, no, not this one. A plus d, no, not this one. Yeah, this one. Why this one, guys? Because a, we're adding a plus d, and then we are subtracting from b plus c, which is like if you distribute this inside, we're gonna get negative b and negative c, which is actually the same thing. This is our answer. Question number 9. Graph function f is composed of two line segments as shown below. Which one of the following is not equal to 0 to 2 integral f of x dx? So actually you have to just look to answer choices and find which one is not equal to this. So first of all, let's start with finding integral 0 to 2 f of x dx. 0 to 2 over here. I have a triangle, guys. So I'm just going to calculate the area of this triangle. So this will be 2, this will be 2, 2 times 2 is 4. I got 2 because 4 over 2 is 2 as my triangle. So I have to find something is equal to, it's not equal to 2 because the question is asking for not equal. So answer choice C. Negative starting with 4 to 2. Guys, if you have a greater value at the bottom, just multiply this integral with negative 2 and switch the numbers. So I will get negative times negative 4 to 2, which means this is going to be a positive f of x dx. And then over here, I got a negative value, guys. There's no way I'm getting 2 over here. So actually, this will be my answer choice because as I said, this is a bit positive, and then inside the area under 2 to 4 is going to be a negative what? Negative 2. This is negative 2, and negative 2 is never equal to 2, you know? So it's going to be answer choice C. What is the average value of this on the closed interval of this? So guys, for average value questions, as I said, this will be your B value, this will be your A value, and then you're gonna just write B minus A integral B, I'm sorry, A, B, and you're just writing your f of x dx. So I'm not going to write f of x dx since I know this is going to be my 2 absolute value of x minus 3 in this interval. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the area for that interval. So let me just write this down. 5 minus 1 is 1 over 4. Okay, and you're just gonna integrate it from 1 to 5, and you're integrating to absolute value of x minus 3. It looks complicated, guys. I know. Let me just erase this. I know it looks complicated, but actually it's not, because we did this like 3 or 4 times today, so it's actually no different than what we did today. So just don't worry. All right, I erased it. Oops. Yeah. So, what is this function? First of all, guys, let me just draw this function. Actually, I'm not even gonna draw the function. I'm just gonna draw the points, which I will need, which is 1, 5, and my 0 point. What is my 0 point? My 0 point is 3, because 3 minus 3 is 0, so my absolute value is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. So over here, I'm gonna get 3. So this will be my 0 point. And what happens when I plug 1? When I plug 1, I got 1 minus 3, which is -2. -2 in absolute value is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Great. And what happens when I plug 5? 5 minus 3 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Actually, I got the same triangle. Very interesting. 4. And over here, I got this. And this will be 4 to 2. I'm sorry. And this will be 2 and 4. So I just got 4 for this triangle, 4 for this triangle, and my integral would be 8. However, I have a 1/4 over here, so 8 times 1/4 is going to be 2. Question number 11. What is the average value of f of x equals radical x on the closed interval 0 to 3? So guys, we're doing the same thing over here, since average value is equal to b minus a integral b a f of x dx. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the same thing over here. 1 over 3 minus 0 integral 3 to 0 square root of x dx. Is there anything else? No. Nice. So what is the average value of this? I'm basically 1/3 integral 3 to 0 x to the 1/2 power dx. Now, guys, let's just integrate this piece. Also, the 0 looks awful. I'm just gonna erase it. 0. Ah, so over here, how can I integrate this piece? I'm just gonna add 1 to the exponent, so it's gonna be x to the 3/3. Also divide with your new exponent. Since I'm dividing with the new exponent, I just can multiply by 2/3. 2/3. Also, don't forget your 1/3. And then we're integrating 3 to 0. So I'm just gonna, this part is not separate. I wish I could just easily erase it. Anyway, so I'm just gonna write the same thing over here. 1/3 times 2/3 times x to the 3/2, x to the 3/2, and 3 to 0. Is that it? Yeah. Okay, so over here, I got 2 over 9. Actually, let me just erase. I don't want to occupy more space. 2 over 9. This will be 2 over 9, guys, since I'm multiplying 2/3 with 1/3. 2 over 9, and then x to 3/3 to 3 to 0. So let's just plug 3. 2 over 9, 3 to the 3rd power in square root. Square. And what will this be? 27 square root of 27 is going to be equal to 3 times radical 3. Also times 2 over 9, which I will get 2 over 3 square root of 3. And minus, if I plug 0 over here, I just get 0. So this will be my integral. Is there anything like this? I see answer choice B. Question number 12. What is the average value of y equals to radical 5x minus 1 on this integral. So guys, basically we're doing the same thing which we did over here, which is 1 over b minus a in this integral. So let's just do that. 1 over 10 minus 2 is 8, integral 10 to 2 in 5x minus 1 to the power of 1/2. Okay. Now, after this part, we just can't integrate this so simply because we're having a radical sign over here. So what we gotta do is we're gonna use our u substitution. 5x minus 1 is equal to u. Remember, guys, in cases where we can't basically integral, we usually use our u substitution. Also, there's way more various methods than u substitution, but in AP Calculus AB level, you should know u substitution. So over here, this is my my du over dx is going to be 5 because my derivative of 5x minus 1 is 5 because our only value which has x is this, and we just get rid of this power of 1 by subtracting 1, and that's it. Our du dx is this, and let's solve for dx. Dx will be equal to du over 5. I'm sorry, I want to find my du. I'm sorry. So that will be dx mine. I'm sorry. Yeah, I messed up. It was dx. So dx is going to be equal to du over 5 dx. Now I'm just going to rewrite this. 1 over 8 integral 10 to 2 5x minus 1, actually u, because I just used my u substitution, over 1/2 to the power of 1/2, and instead of dx I'm just saying du over 5, and now I have to multiply with, I'm just gonna pull this 5 outside, so I'm just gonna do 1 over 40 because 5 times 8 is 40, integral 10 to 2 u to the 1/2, and just add 1 for the exponent and divide with your no exponent, which will be 2/3 times 2 over 3 times 140, and also your region being is 2 to 10. So this will be 1, this will be 20, and you want to find 1 over 60, and instead of u I'm just gonna write what 5x minus 1 to the power of 3 because it's 3/2 over in square root 10 to 2. And now I want to find another space to do it. So actually, let me just erase this. So yeah. Okay. So after this part, I'm just gonna plug 10, which is going to be 5 times 10 minus 1 to cube in square root over 60, 160 minus 160 times 2, I'm sorry, 2 to 10, 2 times 5, 2 times 5, 5 minus 1 to the power of 3 in square root. So this will end up being 2 times 5 is 10 minus 1 is 9. So 9 cube square root minus negative 1 over 60. And this will be 50 minus 1, 49, 49 to the power of 3 in square root 1 over 60. And we're just subtracting this, guys. So let me just put this negative sign over here to make it more obvious. And after this, 1 over 60, I just want to make this easier for me. So I want to write 49 as 7 to the 7 square over 3. And I just get rid of this radical sign by my square. So it's going to be 7 to the power of 3 and minus 160. And 9 is also can be written by 3 to the power of 2. So I'm just going to get rid of that radical sign as well. And that's going to be 3 to the power of 3 3 to the power of 3, and that's pretty much it. After this, I got 343 over 60 minus 27 over 60. And what is this end up being is 316, yeah, over 60. Just divide this by 5. No, divide this by 4. This will be, if I divide this by 4, I got 15. 316 over 4 is going to be 7. 228, 336, 79. So I got 79 over 15, which is answer choice. Hey, what is the value of this integral? So basically, guys, we got 1 over b minus a is going to be 5 minus -3, which is actually 5 plus 3, integrating -3 to 5, g of x, okay? And they already say that this is 8, okay? 1 over 8 of 1/8 of this integral is equal to 8. So they're asking for the original function. So this is actually a very simple algebra question. Like we have one variable and something, and we just multiply it with 8 every time, every place, and we get our integral, which the question was asking, is equal to 64. Very sweet. And sorry. For what value of k greater than 0, the average value of f of x on the closed interval 0, k will be 7. Okay, actually, we're just setting an equation, so there's no big deal. 1 over k minus 0, because actually, let me just write it over here so you can learn it. Integral b a f of x dx. Okay, and since I just b minus a, k minus 0 is what I gotta do, and I don't want to write minus 0, so I don't want to cover up so much space. And after that, 1 over k integral k 0 to k, and my f of x is this function. So 5 minus 2x plus 3x squared. And in this closed interval will be 7. So let me just integrate this. So if I integrate this, I'm just gonna get 5x minus 2x squared over 2, which will be x squared minus x squared plus x cubed. This is our integrated version of this function. Also, you're multiplying by 1 over k, and then you're solving for this area to k to 0. So actually, we're just gonna plug k and set this equal to 7, okay? So 5k minus k squared plus k cubed all over k, which is gonna be 5 minus k plus k squared equal to 7. So basically, this is a very simple equation. Now let's subtract 7 from both sides to make this a quadratic. K squared minus k, subtracting 7 from both sides makes this -2 equals to 0. And I can just obtain this by k minus 2, k minus 1, and this is 1 k squared. Oh, I'm sorry, this is positive 1. I was making that mistake. K squared, k, yeah. So I got this, and for the solutions of this function, k will be either equal to 2 or k will be equal to -1. But the question is asking for k's positive value, so I just eliminate this one, and I end up with k equals to 2. Given this function, which of the following is true? Very well. So G3. What is G3, guys? Integrating. Actually, if we integrate 3 to 3, actually we're integrating nothing because there's no area under none point. So basically this will be 0. G of 3 is 0, and G double prime of 3 and G prime of 3. So if we take G prime of 3, we're just getting rid of this integral sign and ending up with 2t squared minus 2. And if I plug 3 over here, I'm going to get 9. 9 times 2 is 18. 16. Square root of 16 is going to be 4. So G derivative of 3, G prime of 3 is going to be 4. And if I take the double prime of this, I'm gonna get 2t squared minus 2 to the power of 1/2, and just apply your chain rule. 2t squared minus 2, the root of the inside is 4t, and I will get 2t times 2t squared minus 2, and if I plug 3 over here, I got 6. 3 squared is 9. 9 times 2, 8. 9 times 2 is 18. Minus 2, 16. Times 16. 3 times this, this is going to be giving 96. And G double prime ends up being 96. So G double prime is greater, and it looks like answer choice D. So guys, that was it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions or concerns, don't forget to write a comment in the comments section below. If you like my video, you can like and subscribe. Have a nice day.